welcome to the SEO Science Show. I am your host, Josh Krasinski, and welcome to SEO University, the place where we use science and a grand unified theory of science to try and reverse engineer the algorithms to figure out what's going on. Welcome back. We have not broadcast for a couple of weeks, but some new updates have happened. The product review update. Passage ranking also, of course, has been recently released in February. I'd like to talk to you all about that. And the new EMQ that nobody knows about. No one in the rest of the industry is talking about it. This is the only place you'll hear about it at SEO University. So welcome to SEO University. You're in the right place. You're joining the right group. And I'm going to talk about these things today. Just a couple things. This video is for SEO University, which is my SEO group. I'm presuming that everyone who's joining, watching this is going to join. You're free to watch for the free information that I'm going to give out, the SEO tidbits I'm going to give out. I'm giving out SEO tidbits today. And at the end of the video, we will have a special offer for everyone who's watched and listened. But I'm going to proceed on the assumption that you're part of SEO University, or you want to be part of SEO University. At least you're here listening to the videos. So welcome to SEO University. You're in the right spot. So let's talk about this new product review page algorithm. So it's very interesting. And so for those of you who've been watching SEO and following it, you should have noticed in November last year that Google has changed to a transformer-based algorithm. What is that? A transformer is an artificial intelligence that encodes one set of word patterns into another set of word patterns. So for example, in the past, the EMQ meant exact match query. And in the past, specificity was the most important thing. Even as recently as a few, before November, Google was using an algorithm called a vector algorithm, which took a look at the words that are co-located to the exact match query and made those kinds of synonyms, kind of. And so if you said a bunch of co-located words that were in the internet co-located with your exact match query, then you would have ranked better. But Google decimated that. It doesn't work that way anymore. They've been working on their natural language, their NLP processor, their NLP AI transformer for a long time. It's very similar to another company called OpenAI, which has their own transformer AI called GPT-3, you might have heard of. Now, they're not exactly the same. GPT-3 has 175 billion token connections, or word relations, it's noticed, word pattern usages, it's noticed. BERT, which is the basis of Google's algorithm, which I've proven in SEO University, we know BERT inside and out. We know its token sizes. We know exactly what it does. We know how many keywords you can stuff into it. We know where you can stuff those keywords. We know how to test it within 5 minutes. We know, I don't want to let Google know, but we have mastered this thing. Sadly, however, BERT is just kind of like the underlying algorithm. What does most of the ranking, 90% of the ranking for Google normal information search, and this will soon be rolled out to all the other languages, and it will soon be rolled out to local as well, is Smith. Smith is Google's big bad boy AI. It's a bigger transformer. It has far more, it allows far more of a token size, 2,248 tokens, which are word pieces. I also happen to know their token size is 3 to 5 as opposed to OpenAI's 3 to 4. We've proven it through science. So we know we can calculate exactly how big your page needs to be, for example, in SEO University. So when you join SEO University, you're going to know these kinds of things. Also, when you join SEO University, you're going to know about how big your title can be or not be. If you do your title wrong, you're going to sink in the rankings. So you can't get that wrong. Meta description, same thing. You can't get that wrong. If you go over, there are strict over-optimization penalties on these things. And we know how big your document needs to be. And people who are still testing keyword density and still playing around with LSI and stuff like that, it's totally out of date. You know, and so when you join SEO University, you're going to notice by joining SEO University that LSI is totally out of date. Sadly, sorry guys, Vector is even out of date. We were using Vector for so long, and Google used to have this opening in their algorithm where you could have multiple H1s in the page. Did anybody know about this? Nope, we did at SEO University. So if you had joined SEO University back then, you would have known. But now when you join SEO University, you're going to see you can't use H1 multiple times to the page. Don't do it. You can't do it anymore. You'll get demoted. They found it because of us, probably. And now you'll get demoted. So don't do that. Don't have multiple H1s in your page. I'm glad that, so that's one SEO tidbit that you can do for negative SEO. Here's another SEO tidbit I'm giving to you. Don't overstuff your title tag either. You would be surprised as to how draconian, how mean Google gets when it comes to the size of your title tag. So be very, very careful about that. And just because your competitor is doing it doesn't mean you should do it too. Just saying that. Also, don't be stuffing keywords inside your HTML. Don't be stuffing keywords inside your schema tags and things like that. None of that works. That's all crap. That's all bullshit. Most of it will demote you. Your alt attributes. Here's another SEO tidbit. How not to negative SEO yourself. Don't put keywords in your alt attributes, stuff like that. And you might be wondering at SEO University, how can I give this all away for free? Because there's so much more you don't know. That is so much more important. So when you join SEO University, you are going to get the best information. It is going to blow your mind. Your mind's going to go like this. There's many memes on the group of people's minds getting blown as they join. In terms of exploding. Yes, so that's going to be quite amazing. If you have any SEO questions, by the way, while you're watching, by all means, ask any SEO questions here in the YouTube. I think I have it working here, kind of. So ask any SEO questions you'd like in there. I'll answer them to the best of my capability. So this product review algorithm, it's quite interesting. It's based on these transformers. And so their whole ranking algorithm is based on these transformers. And so you cannot underestimate how these artificial intelligences work. They are smart artificial intelligences. If you've probably seen in the news them talking about the new AI that can write pages without humans telling it, that's GPT-3. That is a little baby brother to Smith, which is considerably more powerful than GPT-3, depending on the one you're talking about. But so, because Google has a whole bunch of versions of them that are open source, it's a whole thing, yada, that doesn't really matter for SEO. But all of it is based on this transformer. So I might be like, okay, well, what else is important for this transformer? It's the age of the transformers, like the Decepticons, like that. But what else is based on there? Well, passage ranking, of course. Smith is the algorithm which is doing the passage ranking. And as I said, BERT's kind of the underlying algorithm. Smith is the big boy or big daddy or big mama, if you want, or big trans friend who is doing the heavy lifting there. And it does the passage ranking, and it is a complete 180 change from what SEOs are used to. If you don't understand it, you're going to be in some serious trouble. So luckily, you're in the right place. When you join SEO University, you're going to understand more how these algorithms work by joining SEO University. So the passage ranking is based on Smith. It has a certain amount of text it can support. It is a very interesting number. When you join SEO University, you're going to find out exactly what that is. If you go over that, you're going to have problems there as well. Remember, the transformer algorithm is based in a way that it wants to understand natural language. So the SEO standard way of doing things, which worked all the way up until November of last year, stuffing keywords in there like crazy, worked perfectly fine. And you'd have a sentence like, if you want the best red apples, go to the best red apple shop at bestredapples.com. Best Red Apples has the best red apples, and we're the bestest red apples of all the best red apples. Like, you could literally have a sentence like that, and it worked perfectly fine. But now, of course, that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all, and there are over-optimization penalties there. So don't stuff your sentences full like that. Don't do those kinds of things. When you join SEO University, you're going to learn how to properly find the right keywords. You're going to find other keywords than EMQs. What are they? They're other keywords than EMQs. And I don't mean PMQs, partial match query. There's exact match query, partial match query. You're going to find other kinds of keywords. And I'm not talking about broad match query. I'm not talking about the old keywords that they use in AdWords. I'm not talking about that at all. That is nothing. That has nothing to do with SEO. That's AdWords. There are new kinds of MQs, match queries. There's new kinds of keywords that you don't even know about, that you need to know about. If you don't know about them, you cannot optimize for them. There's so many spaces on the SERP that we know at SEO University. And when you join SEO University, you're going to learn of how to manipulate these new keywords, and you're going to learn how to optimize for these kinds of things. And if you don't, then you won't, right? I cannot communicate to you how impressive it is and how amazing it is, how the power of these transformer algorithms and how they're changing things. It's exciting from a technology standpoint, but of course it's a headache from an SEO standpoint, because that means you need to deal with it. You need to be able to know what these transformers are doing. You cannot guess your way out of this. I'm sorry. You cannot guess your way out of this. There's poker players who thought they could beat AIs, wrong. Chess players who thought they could beat AIs, wrong. Go players, Go is like I think they call it Chinese checkers. That might be racist. I'm sorry if it is. That game, Go, thought they could beat AI, wrong. You can't, right? So you gotta get an SEO University. You have to join SEO University, who knows about artificial intelligence. I'm a CEO of an artificial intelligence company. I work with artificial intelligence on a daily basis. We test artificial intelligence on a daily basis, and we know how these things work specifically and scientifically for Google specifically. So when you join SEO University, you're going to have access to all that information. It will be a bit of a learning curve. You're going to have to take some weeks to learn before you get back to doing SEO. But the wins that we have in our wins channel just keeps going up and up. A whole bunch of students just joined from my last video, and they're already getting some wins. And so when you join, I'll show it to you. I can show it to you right now if you want. If anyone in the chat says, please show us your wins, show us your proof, I will do so. But I do a lot, and it annoys people because, I don't know, they don't like to see how we're winning. Why don't you join us? Join SEO University. You're watching this video because you're going to join SEO University. So you're going to win too. So I don't know why that would annoy you. You don't like winning? You're going to be tired of winning. Boo, I shouldn't have said that. But you really will. You really will win when you get here. How do you think I've kept the group going for so many years when other groups have failed or have joined together? You notice that the other groups that used to compete with me had to join together all in one mega group, so now they can feed themselves. I separated it and we're great. All right. So yeah, passage ranking works based off of Smith. We know this for a fact. We know exactly how it works. We know how to optimize for it. We can dominate the SERPs with it. You'd be pretty amazed about the crazy things you can do with it. So when you join SEO University, you're going to find that out. Also, when you join SEO University, you're going to find out about these new keywords that exist, and these new like new keywords. Like for years, it's been EMQ. EMQ has been the only thing in SEO. Now there's new keywords. Really, and it really changes it at the fundamental level. And you'd be like, what is that? What could that be? Well, when you join SEO University, you're going to find out. And it has all based on to do with these artificial intelligences. So it's like the AI MQ kind of a thing. And also the new products review pages. So that was recently released just a few days ago, last week, I think. So if you were hit in the recent, you got to check Barry's site. So if you were hit in the recent times that could, and you have product review pages of any nature, that's probably what hit you. Now, there's some very important things you need to know. Google put out, let me see if I can find it here. Where's Barry's site? Google put out a thing of what you need to pay attention to. Let me share here. As Barry talks about here, this guy knows nothing. As Barry put out here, it was a huge update for affiliate sites and review sites. Hit a lot of sites here. Many, of course, are down. Many are having here huge problems. Look at the pages and pages and pages. Some got better. Oh yeah, I know exactly why they did. When you join SEO University, you'll know exactly why these guys fell and exactly why some other guys went up. But there was a list here somewhere. I'm trying to find it. There was a list. of what Google said what you should do. Let me see if I can find where that list is. And we'll go through that. I want to just kind of talk to you about how a transformer thinks when you look at that list. Oh, look at these guys. Jeez. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here it is here. So this is a list that came from Google specifically that talks about what you need on this. And the rest of the industry thought this was an EAT thing. They think it's an expertise, authority, and trust thing, which is not really a thing. EAT's not really a thing. EAT is a vaguism that they made to try and throw SEOs off the track. Literally. It is not really a direct thing in ranking really at all. It might start to be with the way transformers work and the power that they have, but it's not really a thing at all. So that being said, though, let's see if we can look at this list and kind of isolate some of the things that might be going on. So first, these are for product review pages, but I would also, to be safe, I would say these are for service pages as well, to be safe. Because anything that, if you're reviewing anything, if money is being exchanged, especially in the health niche, especially in the health niche, especially, or your money, your life, or a finance niche, if any money is changing hands, then they're going to want to hold that page to a stricter standard. And here is exactly how the stricter standard works. Now, when you join SEO University, so I'm going to give you this SEO tidbit here. Among the other SEO tidbits I've already given, when you join SEO University, you are going to know about exactly how this works, or to a much better degree anyway, how this works than what people can kind of just look at these questions and guess. And that's why Google is so and I have sympathy for you guys. I know it's tough, I know it's super tough. SEO is super tough. I know tons of people were hit by this algorithm, way more than the people are reporting. Affiliate stuff used to be a great way to make money, but sadly it isn't anymore. I have so much sympathy and compassion for you guys. I know exactly what you're going through. I've done affiliate SEO for years. I used to make 30 grand a month on affiliate SEO before my affiliate provider dropped me because I was making too much money, I guess. They didn't want to pay that anymore, I'm guessing, or maybe they don't like my hair or something, but they dropped me. So I didn't stop ranking, they dropped me. And then I started to do more client SEO, and then I moved into SEO University, so where you're joining, so congratulations, you're about to know all of the secret knowledge that is going to blow your mind. But I have sympathy for you guys. I understand how this, how it works. I understand how you must feel losing that money. I know how worried, and I feel sympathy for how worried you must feel of like, am I going to lose this money? The safest bet, you've made the right choice, you're in the right place. The safest bet is to join SEO University to find out what's really going on, to future-proof yourself, to save yourself from the future. How long do you think you're going to be able to just guess your way into #1 rankings? We get #1 rankings at SEO University. When you join SEO University, you're going to get #1 rankings. A lot of SEOs think, I'm saying this because a lot of SEOs think that #1 rankings are impossible. They just talk about page 1 rankings. Fuck page 1 rankings. We get #1 rankings if we want to. So congratulations for joining SEO University. When you join SEO University, you are going to be able to be in a position to get #1, spot #1 rankings, should you want to do it, spend the time and the money required to do it, which is not a lot. It'd be some time. It wouldn't be a lot of money, depending on the niche. Okay, so let's actually look at this thing here. So, and you got to think of this in terms of what the Smith AI, because undoubtedly it's the Smith AI that's processing this. We got to think in terms of what the Smith AI is going to think, what a transformer AI is going to think about this stuff. So let's get into it. Express expert knowledge about products where appropriate. Okay, so you want to express expert knowledge where appropriate. What does that mean? What does expert knowledge mean? And more importantly, what would that say? Everyone's like, oh, you gotta be an expert. You have to have an entity. Let me tell you something. Entities are a crock of shit. There's no such thing as a brand entity. That gives you any ranking factor. We've proven it at SEO University. At least not now. They could do it in the future. Google can definitely recognize entities, don't get me wrong. But in natural language processing, an entity is nothing but a concept or a thing, a proper noun that they can detect due to the natural language grammar. That's it, right? Yes, they can detect authors, they can detect people, they know who I am. Google me, they know who I am, right? They know who Josh Bashinsky is. GPT-3 knows who I am. If you start asking questions about who's the best SEO on the planet, or is Josh Bashinsky a good SEO, it will say, it will know at least that I'm related to SEO, right? Other big names would work too. Probably Neil Patel and other huge names in SEO would work as well. Those guys don't know what they're talking about, but they happen to by accident get into GPT-3 as an SEO name, right? So when you join SEO University, you're going to see this stuff. You're going to laugh. It's going to be funny. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, expert knowledge. So don't think of it in terms of entities, and don't think you can like throw links at your blog and now you're an entity or something. It doesn't work that way. Stop guessing. Stop the guessing. I'm here. This is an intervention. I love you. I have sympathy for you. Stop the guessing. Congratulations for joining SEO University to get with the science. That's going to tell you exactly how this kind of stuff is working, or give you a much better idea of how this stuff is working based on scientific experiment. So when they talk about expert knowledge, let me share the screen again. When they talk about expert knowledge, it's less about what you think of an entity and much more about what experts say, what you're expressing. This is the key word in this sentence. What do experts express about the products where appropriate? Because a transformer, all it does, remember, however smart it is, all it does is convert this word into this word. All Vector did was check what's co-located to this word. What an NLP transformer does is check the subject, predicate, the subject, knowledge is the subject, products is the predicate. It checks the X is Y, X verbs Y relationship in the grammar of sentences, and does that for the entire internet, the entire corpus it is fed, and then re-engineers it for what X is not, what knowledge is not. So we can have knowledge about products, but we never have knowledge about Farfignugan. Why? Because Farfignugan, well, that's not a made-up word, but it doesn't often, it's Dutch, I believe. It doesn't, the joy of writing, if I recall, and it doesn't actually, it's Yiddish, I think, I don't know, but it's some European language, and it doesn't often gets embedded into English text. So for a transformer, if you said knowledge about Farfignugan, if you make some kind of joke like that, is it going to help you rank in a transformer? I don't know. So it's what do the experts express about it, which is more important, okay? Here's the next one. Show what the product is like physically or how it is used with unique content beyond what's provided by the manufacturer. Well, that one's pretty straightforward. Don't just copy and paste the manufacturer description. But what is it like physically? How could you show that? Or how it is used? How could you do that? Well, some guess-EOs might have some ideas of making a video or taking your own pictures. That probably wouldn't be some bad guess-EO. But scientifically speaking, how does a transformer AI process this? What language could you use? I don't know. When you join SEO University, you will find out. You want to provide quantitative measurements about how a product measures up in various categories of performance. Keyword quantitative, keyword categories. Okay, what does a transformer AI think of quantitative versus, say, another descriptor like qualitative? What kind of language is that, quantitative? And quantitative measurements, in fact. And that's another SEO tidbit for you. And what is categories? What does that mean in terms of language the transformer will understand? Because a transformer is way smarter than you think it is, but dumber than, some people think. So it's got to be the way people talk about it online, because that's what it was trained on. A transformer is trained on a corpus, on a data set. So what was it trained on? And what is it going to tell you about what you should say about quantitative measurements, about some kind of your product you're trying to rank? And what would you say about categories of performance? So that'll be interesting to figure out. Explain what sets a product apart from its competitors. So this one, you got to be really, really careful, because in this one, you might think you should be creative and tell the AI how the product is different from its competitors. But you don't want to be too creative because the AI won't understand what you're saying. If you go too far out of the pale of what other people have talked about for this thing, then they're going to be like the transformer is not going to understand. Now, when you join SEO University, you're going to find very interesting ways of hacking and exploiting the transformer, of how we can teach the transformer, how we can make it learn. So when you join SEO University, you're going to find that out. But until if you don't join, you'll never find that out. You'll never know. You'll never guess. No one will guess. Not possible. But so what I'm saying though is make sure you don't go too far off in the reeds here, because again, then the AI is going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and it's not going to be able to score your text very well. Now the next one, cover comparable products to consider, or explain which products might be best for certain uses or circumstances. Now, other guesseos are going to be like, oh, you want to talk about related searches here. No, you don't. That would be a huge mistake. You would be watering down your text and you would have keyword cannibalization. There's another SEO tidbit for you. You do not want to do this very much, right? You've got to do this only to a certain degree, again, within the confines of what the transformer is going to understand. So so when you join SEO University, you will understand the confines of how the transformer thinks, so you have a better idea for this. This one is of extreme importance. We've tested it in numerous ways, well, a couple ways, and because it's new, so we haven't done a lot of testing into this yet, but because I know how the transformer works, and this is just an extension, this is just the beginning, right? This is just an extension, excuse me as I clean my glasses off. This product review thing, do not think for a second it's going to be an isolated incident or it's going to be the only one you need to deal with. This is merely the first child AI of thousands of child AIs that Google is going to produce that work in exactly the same way. Exactly. So you're doing the right thing. You're joining SEO University, so you have a hope in hell of understanding what that means and how to optimize for it. So you can dominate the rankings and everybody else is going to suck it. Everybody else is going to lose their rankings and you're going to increase in the rankings because you joined SEO University, and SEO University knows how to fix these things and how these things work. So so don't think for a second that this is, just a single algorithm I don't need to know, Josh. No, there's going to be thousands of these for every possible niche that's important and every particular thing. Like Google hasn't had this yet and people thought they had. Now they're going to have it. Now they could start doing real entity stuff. Now they could start doing real, and when I say entity, I don't mean a person, place, or thing. I can also mean other adjectives and things and ways of speech and ways of talking about it. They can encode any language to any language, right? And they know what it means to say, they know what synonyms are, right? You could use synonyms and you might want to somewhere. I don't know. That's something when you join SEO University, you'll find out. So we're going to want to discuss the benefits and drawbacks of a particular product. And remember the language here that Google can understand. And remember what I said about synonyms. Describe how a product has evolved from previous models or releases to provide improvements, address issues, or otherwise help users in making a purchase decision. Again, this is very important. Why? These all sound the same, don't they? Why would Google say different things? Why would they say the same thing like 3 times? This sounds like they're saying the same thing. They're not. When you understand, and when you join SEO University, you're going to understand the science behind why they're saying these things they're saying, and you're going to be able to read the Google code. You're going to be able to parse the language that comes out of John Mueller and Gary Illysh's mouth and official statements like this, and you're going to be able to speak their language. You're going to be able to translate. When you join SEO University, you're going to be able to translate the Google mumbo jumbo into real actionable ranking tips that are going to help boost you. So when you join SEO University, you're going to get boosted by Google's mumbo jumbo and not be tricked by it like everybody else in the industry and fall by the wayside. So describe how a product has evolved from previous models. Okay, well that seems like it would be pretty straightforward. Or releases to provide improvements. Talk about the improvements. How you have addressed previous issues. I wonder what issues would be important to address. Maybe the ones other people have complained about that they found in the corpus when they processed the entire corpus. I don't know, maybe. Or otherwise help users in making a purchase decision. Interesting. Okay. I wonder how that's going to work for a transformer, what language the transformer wants to hear. Here's another one. Identify key decision-making factors. Oh, for the products category. Oh, not for another products category, for this products category, right? Okay, so now we're talking about products and product categories here. Wait a damn minute. Which one do you want, Google? You got to understand how a transformer looks at these. And look at this example. For example, a car review might determine that fuel economy, safety, and handling are key decision-making factors. What are the key decision-making factors? And rate performance in these areas. So not only do you have to mention the key decision-making factors according to that transformer, and you have to rate performance in those areas. And this is how Google is brilliant. Because without being an expert, a complete expert in that niche, how would you ever know what the key decision factors are, right? How would you ever know that? Unless you're a serious expert. That's how they get you, because the AI is smart. And it's smart enough to know you're not an expert in this niche. You're someone from the Philippines who was hired to, or wherever, India or wherever, or Canada. You're someone who was hired third party who doesn't really know about this thing, and you're just rewording the information. People on Black Hat forums thought that this wouldn't help at all. They know nothing. When you join SEO University, you're going to laugh at people at Black Hat forum because they know nothing at all about how the transformer works and how smart it is. How smart it is and how it can tell, yes, it can tell what the key decision factors are for the entire internet for every single product made. So when you join SEO University, you're going to understand this. We have tools already at our disposal for determining this, and I'm building an SEO tool that'll be very cheap in my AI company that I'm the CEO of. We're building an SEO tool that's specifically going to give you this information here of what the key decision-making factors are for every single niche under the sun. So you will have a tool that will tell you all of this, really, but really, quite frankly, the first one that inspired me, which is funny they came out with this, I think Google might be listening to me, because my tool will do exactly this. You'll be like, what are the key decision-making factors in cars? And it'll be like, oh, fuel economy, safety, and handling are the most important ones to humans. It'll scan the entire internet, and it'll tell you what you should write about. So when you join SEO University, you're going to have premier access to this tool. When you join SEO University, you might get some beta access to this tool. So congratulations for joining SEO University. You again made the right choice. And if you don't have access to this kind of tool, well, you better really honestly, that ends the promiscuous affiliate thing. And that's exactly what Google wants to do. Google wants to kill the promiscuous affiliate. Google wants to kill the affiliate who's just building out spam pages that are just rehashed, copied, even written well by someone who half knows what they're doing and has researched it for you. It's not good enough. It's not going to be good enough. Google has put a sword of death into that niche. It's dead. It is dying now, and it is dead. Just like poker players died before their AI, Go died before their AI, and chess players have died before their AI. Just like IBM's artificial intelligence beat Jeopardy. Yes, it is the singularity, or not really the singularity, but yes, it is that time. The death knell has now rung for SEO. That's my best SEO tidbit for today. Join SEO University to get on the right side of these transformers so you can understand what it is before they make it too complicated to understand. So you're doing the right thing by joining SEO University. And again, I have so much sympathy for what you guys are going through. I know how tough it is. I have so much sympathy for how difficult it seems through all this smoke and all these mirrors that Google is doing. But join SEO University and you will understand what these transformers are doing. We are building tools. We already have the knowledge. When you join SEO University, you will increase your rankings. I can almost guarantee it. I can't guarantee it because I don't know if you're going to do the studying required to learn. So if you do the studying required to learn and you follow my recommendations and you understand our tactical recommendations and you make those changes to your pages, I guarantee you're going to improve your ranking. I guarantee you will improve your ranking. If you do the studying, you have to do the studying. You can't just join and then magically, blah, you get rankings, right? Don't think we're like every other SEO group where it's going to be, when you join SEO University, you're going to realize that we're not just offering the old rehashed make a PBN bullshit courses that someone made 10 years ago. It's all fresh, new content I make on a weekly basis, and it is fresh and science-based with all of the proven techniques where I prove to you what's going to boost your rankings. So that's what you want to go by. Except no substitute, my friends. And so finally, the last one here is describe key choices and how a product has been designed and their effect on the users beyond what the manufacturer says. So again, you need to be able to predict what the AI wants to hear here, right? You need to know what the key choices in a product has been designed. You need to know the scallywag of what's going on here compared to what other people said. This list here would be very hard for any third-party researcher to do and get right. And it will be impossible for a third-party writer being paid whatever, $5 an hour or even $50 an hour. It would be impossible for a writer to get this all right if they don't understand the transformer AI. Impossible. You don't know what your target audience is. The target audience is Smith. The target audience is the transformer AI. So when you join SEO University, you're going to learn you're going to learn how to write for the target audience, for the transformer AI. It's not about specificity anymore. You can't stuff your EMQ in the page anymore like crazy and expect yourself to rank. You can't try chintzy little SEO tools anymore and expect yourself to rank. You need robust, powerful tools based off. You need artificial intelligence and real intelligence, scientific intelligence, to combat artificial intelligence. That's just the way it is. It's what you need. So you're in the right place by joining SEO University. Pat yourself on the back. And for those of you who email me now, after listening to this video, and I'm not going to keep this offer going for long, for those of you who email me now and say yes in the subject line, all you have to do is say yes in the subject line and know what you're talking about. I'll give you a discount to join SEO University at that time. So email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com with yes in the subject line if you want to get access to SEO University. For joining SEO University, you're going to get access to all the information right off the bat. And there will be some learning curves involved. You can do some SEO right away, but there's dozens of hours of courses, if not hundreds of hours of courses, of brand new stuff you've never seen anywhere that I guarantee if you follow it, it will make you rank. I could prove it to you. I could show you the wins if you want to. Okay, so that's what I've got for you guys today. Let's take a look here at if there's any questions. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So Erfan says, Josh, your new hairstyle is awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it. CDL says 512 says, I suck at sales. Okay, if you say so. I didn't say the course was about sales. I said the course was about SEO. So I don't think so, though. I don't think I suck at sales. My group is still existing. I'm making a killing off it, so I don't know if I suck at sales. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Lolpole says, hey, Josh, can you audit my site? Maybe. Email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com, and I can see what I can do. Furman says, any tips for the review algorithm ranking? That's what I talked about, so if you didn't hear it, just rewind. Chase is here. Hi, Chase. Chase says, beard is looking great as usual. Thank you, sir. Dee says, is time on site a major ranking factor? See, Dee, that's a great question. So it's when you join SEO University, you're going to realize how that's a great question because it's a great example of what not to ask, right? That's not how it works at all, at all, at all. When you're running a scientific group, you have to test what Google actually uses, not how the SEO industry thinks about it. So no, time on site is not a ranking factor, but there's all kind of other ranking factors that are kind of like that. So you gotta, when you join SEO University, you're gonna know what the right stuff is to do when you join. Lol Pole says, Chase, Josh is the sexiest SEO alive. Okay. He also says something about my manhood. I appreciate the compliment, but there's no need. There's no need for that. There's no need for that. Oh, okay. Now they're being sarcastic. Josh has 3 black belts, a PhD. That's not true. I don't have a PhD. I didn't finish it. A sexy wife, guilty as charged. He says we're all losers and Josh is the man. I think that he might be being sarcastic. So thanks very much, guys, for paying attention. Email me at joshpaczynski@gmail.com with yes in the subject line. I'll be making a couple more videos like this and coming on when I can. If you have any other SEO questions, if you can fire them in there that are serious questions, I would be happy to answer them while I'm just finishing off talking here. Chase, how are you doing? How is your neck of the woods when it comes to SEO? Let me know how that's going. I'd be interested to hear it. And if you have any other SEO questions, I'd be happy to answer them if you guys want to fire them in there. Otherwise, you really want to join SEO University. And I can't tell you how much sympathy I have. I know how tough it is out there, and it's only getting tougher because of the transformer or AI. So what have you got to lose? Join to check out what we got, and if you don't like it, quit. So it's only like, whatever, $300 for the first month. You know, it's not a huge investment, right? It's not like I'm selling the thing for 10 grand or something, which is kind of a ripoff because a lot of other groups do sell their stuff for like 10 grand. And then it's all the rehashed, warmed up, how to email people to get links, like stuff literally from 15 years ago. So all my stuff is fresh. I guarantee you've never seen it anywhere before. And I guarantee if you follow it, it will boost your rankings. Email me if you want to, if that excites you, if you would like to rank and understand how these transformers are ranking, if you'd like to dominate in the niches, email me yes@joshpaczynski@gmail.com, and you will join SEO University and we'll get you set up. All right, thanks a lot, guys. As always, good luck in the SERPs, and we'll see you next time. And don't let the transformers get you.